One of the hardest truths that I had to accept in my own self-development journey is your life is a direct reflection of the choices that you make. It's a reflection of the people that you hang out with. It's a reflection of the excuses that you make. It's a reflection of the habits you have, the distractions that you have, the vices that you have, the discipline that you lack. And that's a very uncomfortable truth, but at the end of the day, the truth will set you free. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, hello, my name is Jasmine. And in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the fact that a lot of the choices that you have made is exactly why you are where you are. But the beauty of it is you can change it, okay? Now, I'm not talking about people who have disabilities, okay? I'm not talking about people who fell on tough times because they got sick. I'm not talking about that, okay? I'm just talking about your everyday, regular person. I'm also talking about myself, all right? So don't be trying to create nuances. Listen. There are a lot of things that I did not always like about myself. I hated the fact that I was 100 pounds overweight, right? But at the end of the day, my body and all of the fat that I carried was a direct reflection of the foods that I chose to eat. It was a direct reflection of the exercises that I chose not to do. And it was a reflection of all of the years that I chose to do those things. And at the end of the day, I put myself in that situation. I'm the reason why I had high blood pressure. I'm the reason why I had prediabetes. I'm the reason why I had high cholesterol. And you guys, I was diagnosed with these things back in my late 20s, okay? This was back in I was like 27 with high blood pressure. And I was a college athlete, okay? I was diagnosed with prediabetes. I think I was 28. And diabetes is not running my family, okay? So that's the crazy thing about it. And I could sit there and say, oh, the man and society wants me to be fat. But what does that do for me? What does all that victim blaming do for me? I can sit there and say that it's the pharmaceutical industry and they're putting stuff in the food. Okay, well then if I know that, why do I choose to continue to eat the foods I shouldn't be eating? At the end of the day, it was my fault. I did it to myself. And that's the truth. And the truth is, just like I did it to myself, I can also fix it. If I truly wanted to change being overweight and obese, which I did, I stopped eating the foods that caused it. I stopped going to fast food every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I stopped drinking soda. I haven't had soda in years. Okay? I stopped eating sweets all day and I lost weight. There are things in your life that you may not be happy about, but you did it to yourself. I used to struggle with finances a lot, right? And I can use the excuse of, well, no one in my family taught me how to be financially literate. Okay, sure, maybe. But that still doesn't change the fact that I had a spending problem. I was spending way more money than what I was bringing in. And that's why I was living paycheck to paycheck for years. And at the end of the day, I carry a cell phone with me all day, every day. Just like I had time to scroll on Instagram and laugh at funny videos, I also had time to watch videos on how to be better with finances, how to save better, how to pay your debt off better, right? How to cut spending where you can. I could have watched those videos too, but I chose not to. And that's why I was struggling with my finances for years. And I was going to continue to struggle with those things until I made the choice to fix it. The people that you date. Let's talk about it. We have all, well, I'm not going to say all, but I believe most of us have experienced a toxic relationship at some point in time, right? And we can sit there and say, hey, the red flags weren't there. I truly believe the red flags were always there. But because we lacked boundaries, because we lacked confidence in ourselves, because we people pleased, maybe, these are things that I used to do, we would allow people to slide, right? We would give people the benefit of the doubt. And over time, those things just got worse and worse and worse, and it got more toxic and more toxic and more toxic. But if you take the emotion out and you reflect back on that relationship, however long ago it was, 9 times out of 10, there were things that you should have cut off way before it got as bad as it did. But you made the choice not to. Now, I also believe that you can only use the tools in your toolbox at the time in which the event took place, right? So we can't sit around and be mad at ourselves for things that we did not know, right? You're not born knowing everything. You can only do the best that you can with the version of you that you are in those moments. But now moving forward, what are we going to do to be better? Sitting around and blaming this person and this situation and that situation isn't going to change anything. It's just going to keep you stuck in a cycle, in a loop, doing the same thing over and over and over again while you're feeling sorry for yourself. That's not going to get you anywhere in life. My content is only to help the woman who's actually ready to change, okay? I don't care to victim blame. I don't care to point fingers because that doesn't get you anywhere. And it's unfortunate that so many people have that mindset where they'd rather just wallow in self-pity. But, you know, that's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to fix anything. It's not going to make you a better woman. And in order to become a better woman, you're going to have to accept the fact that your life is a direct reflection of the choices that you made. That's just the truth. Now that we've accepted that, what are you going to do about it so that you can make better choices moving forward? Well, you got to self-reflect. And you got to really get to the root of why you allowed things that you allowed, whether that was with other people, whether that was with your habits. What were you trying to escape from? I think a lot of times we're trying to escape and we don't even realize we're escaping. I know I've been in relationships with friends and I was just trying to escape a life I wasn't happy with. So I would hang out with people who would drink all the time, who would smoke all the time, because it allowed me to escape the fact that I didn't really know which direction I wanted to go in with my own life. And instead of sitting there and trying to figure out what kind of life I wanted to live, I would just escape it. And I would hang out with people who weren't doing anything, right? But you got to figure out why you were doing it. And then you got to figure out, okay, well, what can I do to give myself a better life? And then once you figure that out, you actually have to do it. I cannot stress the importance of doing it. It's like so many people miss that part. You'll journal about it. You'll talk about it. You'll pray about it. You'll hope about it. You'll manifest about it. You'll even tell other people about it. But you won't do it. You can write a list from here to Mars. But if you don't actually do the things that's going to change your life consistently, every day, then you will continue to live the life that you've been living. If you truly want to lose weight, that is going to require you to stop watching weight loss videos. That is going to require you to get your booty in the kitchen and cook your foods. That's going to require you to put your shoes on, go outside, and walk. But it's like so many people miss that step. They think that because they're scrolling on Instagram, watching healthy meals being prepared, that's going to somehow magically help them lose weight. It's not going to help you do anything if you don't do it. If running your own business is genuinely going to make you happy and you know that deep down inside, okay, then do it. Actually turn your phone off and do it. Get started because you're just wasting time. And it's crazy because time moves so fast. And so many of you guys are going to leave a comment and say, yeah, time does move fast. I realized that 5 years ago, how quickly time moves. And I'm sitting there reading the comment like, okay, so what are we going to do about it? Some of y'all, nothing. Okay, you've acknowledged the fact that time moves quickly and you're not going to do anything about it. Wow. And you're going to be the first one mad at me because I'm telling you that your life is a direct reflection of the choices that you make. And the choices that you make is sitting in, yeah, I do procrastinate. Yeah. But I'm not going to change it today. I'll start on the 1st. I'll start at the beginning of the year. Okay. My content's not even meant for you. My content is meant for the woman who actually wants to change. And the truth, it's supposed to hurt. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. If anything, it's supposed to piss you off. You might get defensive, but that's because it's holding a mirror to you. And a lot of times we don't want to see ourselves in that light. That's why sometimes what I've realized about people is like, let's say you have an argument with someone a disagreement and you're trying to get them to understand why what they did hurt you, but it's like it goes in one ear and out the other because they don't see it that way. But humans, one thing I've noticed is we don't like to sit with accepting the fact that we caused pain on someone else, right? I've done it, you've done it. I think we've all done it because we all want to have a positive reflection of ourselves in order for us to sleep at night, right? You want to feel as good about yourself as possible. No one wants to feel bad about themselves. So they'll say things like, well, no, it wasn't like that, or I didn't mean it like that, or no, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to see it the way that you're explaining it to them, because if they accepted the thing that you're telling them, well, then that would make them feel bad about themselves. And nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to sit there and feel bad about decisions that they've made that have hurt somebody else. So they'll create a false persona within themselves so they can sleep at night, so they can protect their consciousness, right? Well, that's what we do with the truth. We all do it. And if you're not aware, you didn't even recognize you were doing it. The truth hurts, because that's going to force you to look at yourself in the mirror and accept the fact that the things you have been doing have gotten you to where you've gotten. And that's a very uncomfortable place to be in. And most people will run from it because they don't want to sit with that truth. So they'll blame others, or they'll blame their upbringing. They'll blame their parents. They'll blame everybody except them. But to me, there's power in blaming yourself, because when you accept the fact that your decisions got you to where you are, well, now you can accept the fact that you have more control over your life than you're giving yourself credit for. And that means you can fix it. Just fix it. Just change. You make it harder than it needs to be. Just decide that you don't want to live like that anymore, and then follow through. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to read what you guys have to say. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join the Patreon. The link is down below in my description, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.